Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the second weekly update, and I just want to say thank you for all the feedback I got from the first vlog in this series. Last week's update was received really well, and I had a lot of positive feedback and suggestions when it came to sales related things or things I could improve in tutorials, and it was really nice to get that kind of feedback. One of the things that did come out of that is that it might be nice to have some sort of community. So I have created a Slack team that anybody can go and join. If you go to chat.coderjourney.com, you can go and send yourself an invite. I'll put a link in the description of this YouTube video. Going back to last week, I submitted 2 talk proposals to a conference called Beer City Code, which is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they actually both got accepted. So I will be speaking on Docker for developers and actually giving a talk on meditation and why I think it's important for developers in order to kind of strengthen their ability to focus on things. So hopefully those are recorded. I don't know that they will be, but that'll be in June. So if you can make it to a conference in June, I think it's on the 9th and 10th in Grand Rapids, Michigan, then I'd love to meet you. I had also applied to write for DigitalOcean in their tutorial series so that I could get the opportunity to work with an editor. And I actually got accepted for that too. So I had sent them a writing sample that was one of the tutorials from the CoderJourney website. They thought it looked good. And so now I'm in this spot where I have to come up with an idea and then I need to submit it to them. And if they approve it, then I go off and I go through the writing process and the editing process. So if you guys have any ideas for tutorials that aren't already met by what's on the DigitalOcean community tutorial site, then I'd love you to throw them my way so I can go and create a tutorial for those. I have a few ideas of my own, but we'll see which one I do first. Yeah, I guess beyond working on Kubernetes stuff for the tutorials, I've also been kind of working on a little bit of design stuff. I'm not a very accomplished designer, and that's one of my big weaknesses for things. There have been quite a few software projects that I've built out and thought were really cool, but didn't have any design input on them, and I was kind of too shy to ask somebody else to help me with this thing. But I also just didn't have the skills to do it myself. So now I'm going to try to work on that a little bit on my own, and I'm going to do that by redesigning the CoderJourney.com site. This is prompted a little bit by the fact that it's on WordPress. I'm not a WordPress developer, and I don't actually want to take the time to learn how to be a WordPress developer, but I really like having full control over my website. So I'm going to be moving that off to the Hugo static site generator and just have it be HTML, and then probably run that using the Caddy web server, which maybe I'll do a tutorial on sometime, but it's really easy to configure web server that's written in Go, and you just ship kind of one binary, and it's pretty simple. So over the weekend, I'm going to be working on that redesign and kind of building up the theme and the HTML for that. And then thankfully, I have a couple friends who are good at design who offered to give me some feedback on the design once I actually have it. So that'll be good, and hopefully I can improve in my design skills too, since that's just an area that I'm weak. The last thing that I had kind of come to me this week is the idea of what Nathan Barry, who's the guy behind ConvertKit, which is an email marketing platform, called the Web App Challenge. But basically, he gave himself this 6-month challenge to build a software product that could make him $5,000 a month in revenue, like recurring revenue. And that might be a little bit extreme for what I'm going for, but I think it would be kind of cool to give myself this challenge and then document everything as I go. And that sort of embodies CoderJourney as an idea anyway, because it would be me showing the struggles I'm going through while I'm actually building something that I want to be production grade and that I can ship out there to the world. So that's something I'm going to be starting. I'm going to give an official start date, and then we'll see how far we get in an actual 6-month period. But as of right now, it's just an idea that I'm kicking around and something that I want to do, but that'll definitely be a lot of the content for the weekly updates as we go forward. So thanks for tuning into this. If you have any feedback for anything I said today, then I would love to hear it in the comments. If you want to share this just so you can get this experience of listening to a developer talk developer problems to somebody else, then that would also be cool. So have a great week and let me know what you're doing.